thinking about the Hebrides revival. It took place in 1949 to 1952 in the islands off the coast of Scotland. The Hebrides Islands. It started in the Isle of Lewis and Harris. They're in the northwest. And what happened really was this. There was a small group that had begun to pray for a break-in of God. They'd lost their young people. They'd completely lost their young people to the bars and to the dancing hall. And the young people were not coming to church.
Chasing after you, I'm so hungry for your presence. I come before your throne and lay all my burdens down. You said you'd never leave me, so I'll take you at your promise. My life is in your hands, so I give you all I am. And I wanna be with you. And I wanna walk with you. And
So a small group of pastors began to pray. And there were these two little sisters. Gosh, their names are slipping me. One of the ladies' names is Christine. I can't think of the other one. 86 and 88. One was blind. It's two little Annas. And they were praying daily. And they had a word from the Lord that this minister was supposed to come, Duncan Campbell. And Duncan Campbell was set up to minister at one of the large conventions in the United Kingdom called the Keswick Convention. It's the who's who convention in the United Kingdom, had been for years. And Duncan Campbell, the story goes that he was there at the Keswick Convention and the Lord spoke to him and said, "You are not supposed to be here. You are supposed to go to the Hebrides Islands." And he had gotten an invitation, but he turned it down.
I wanna be with you. And I wanna walk with you. I found my deliverance here. I found my healing is here.
So Campbell gets pierced by the Lord. And he goes to the Hebrides Islands. He gets off the boat, and the story goes this way. He walks up on a man, and he says, "Is there a church here?" And he said, well yes, we have churches. And he said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Duncan Campbell. I'm supposed to be at a church here." He goes, "Yes, Mr. Campbell. We've been expecting you." You go, "What?" "Well, the Lord told us you were coming, even though you said you weren't. And we've already put up signs for the meeting. The first one's tonight."
Come on, cry out to him tonight.
So they usher him into the meeting, and you know, it's 200, 300, 400 people. And I love how the story goes, because the two little intercessor ladies, one of the sisters goes up to Duncan Campbell and goes, "Mr. Campbell, are you, do you fear, no, are you in right standing with the Lord?" He goes, "Well, I fear God." She goes, "That will do." I love it. First meeting, a couple hundred people show up. Nothing happens. And one of the young men stops Duncan Campbell. They're halfway. He's heading towards the door. He's heading on his way out. He stops Duncan Campbell in the aisle there, and he said, "This isn't what God said was going to happen. God said he was going to break in with revival." And he opens up to Isaiah 44, verse 3, and he says, "God!" And the young man begins to scream at the top of his lungs, "God, you said you would pour your spirit on the thirsty. You said you would pour your water on the dry ground. God, you said you would break in with revival, and you're not doing it. What about the glory of your name? What about making good on what you said, God?" And the young man goes into a trance. He freezes. Duncan Campbell's looking at this young man, and he's frozen in a trance. He prays this gut-wrenching prayer, and he freezes. And Duncan Campbell's there. He's looking at him, and he said, when that young man prayed that prayer, something shifted, something broke. So they're gonna go and get a doctor or something. They're gonna help the young guy. He's in a frozen trance in the Spirit of the Lord. I don't know how much time has transpired. So he goes and he gets one of the ushers, one of the deacons or whatever. He says, we got to get help. We got to get a doctor. This guy's frozen. And he goes, no, we have a different problem. 700 people have gathered outside the church, and they're ready for a meeting tonight. He goes, we didn't advertise. No, we didn't, but they're saying God has drawn them for a meeting. And so they end up having a meeting that night, and the thing erupts. And over a 3-year period of time, the power of God infiltrates. The stories are so phenomenal. The people would get, they were in such a non-religious state, they would get pierced by the Lord in their homes, out in the public, at their jobs, and rather than going to the church because they're not thinking religiously, they would go to the police officer and turn themselves in because they're convicted.
Come on, cry out for it.
They say, I don't know of any crime really, but I've done something wrong. And they said they would drive home at 2 and 3 in the morning, and they would hear cries and wails coming out from the fields where people were out in the middle of the night, gripped in intercessions and groaning, crying out for God at 2 and 3 in the morning. And the meetings would continue, multiple times a day and even through the night. And it's spread all over those islands there in the Hebrides. That's 1949. That's not very long ago.
Rain down, rain down, rain down. Come on, lift your voice all over the room. Say, rain down. Come on. Say, rain down, rain down, son.
Rain down, rain down.
We are hungry.
Rain down,
We are thirsty. Rain down.
rain down.
Lord, won't you rain down in this place? Showers of mercy.